Welcome back everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Atomic Heart. If you're a fan of sci-fi action adventure games, then to be honest, this one might be right up your alley. Since the last time I covered this game, they've released a decent amount of content, primarily gameplay, which I was waiting for, where they showcase character movements like this boss fight playing in the background. From previous content, they've only showed rendered scripted scenes, which isn't bad, but seeing this is quite refreshing. The boss fight has what I assume to be the main character fighting this giant mechanical ball, which kind of reminds me of the mech from The Incredibles. The impact of the mech and how the surrounding area reacts to it looks pretty good, meaning the physics of this game might be okay or might be decent enough. From their multiple trailers, we could see different weapons, abilities, bosses, character models, and visuals. This combined with decent gameplay physics, it may have the potential to be a unique game that it's set out to be. I want to emphasize on the visuals though. I know having hyper-realistic graphics is important to having a visually appealing game, but their asset/art choice is what sets this game apart from some of the other games coming out recently or in the past. I know in my last video I mentioned Atomic Heart gave me BioShock 2 vibes, and it still does, but watching more gameplay there are heavy influences to old world Russia, which I think is kinda nice depending on how they go about it. The propaganda posters, old buildings, and statue with the sickle really emphasize this area of old world USSR or Soviet Union. Even some of the boss fights seem to be set in theatrical areas that give off that old world feel within a more devastated utopian area. Moving on, we can see more combat movement from their combat trailer, and I will say I always expect game developers to have amazing rendered cutscenes for marketing purposes, but in the game footage it looks great just as it does in some of the trailers they've put out. So I'm hoping it looks somewhat close to what we're seeing in the footage. I'm not expecting it to look amazing on day one. I think we all know that games often look different from their trailers and marketed gameplay, but close enough I think it would really please the buyers overall and the players. Now this game has been in development for quite some time. It was introduced to the world back in 2018, so I'm hoping that the last 5 years have been enough time for this game to actually be good. With games like this, I'm always skeptical when there's so much hype around them because it's a 50-50. They can either be really great or a letdown, so I'm not necessarily sure where this game is going to head after launch or on in its initial debut. So being the skeptic that I am, I looked at the About Us page on their website. They mentioned that this game development company was founded back in 2017, and we know that Atomic Heart was announced in 2018, so it seems odd, but the members could be developers and composed of people who know what they're doing, justifying both dates being so close to each other, the initial launch of the company, as well as the announcement of the game. They also mentioned the initial team of 30 or so devs who created and worked on this game initially, then later increasing the size to 130 creators. So it's a sizable team, so they definitely have enough manpower to get this game up to standards from what we're seeing in games today. There's also one more thing I found interesting. Their investors are Gaijin Entertainment, Gem Capital, and Tencent, and their hardware partner is Nvidia. These are major companies, Gaijin being the massive game dev behind War Thunder and Enlisted, Gem Capital and Tencent being huge investment companies, and we all know Nvidia. But this is what gets me to think that with the amount of investment and support, there's no way Atomic Heart shouldn't be able to deliver what they've been promising over the last 5 years. At least something that runs and looks good enough to justify the $60 price tag is basically priced like a AAA title, so ideally the end result should match that, but we'll see what reality brings us this February if it doesn't get delayed again. With that said, I wanted to cover this game because I'm genuinely interested in the uniqueness Atomic Heart can bring to the table, so let me know what you think about Atomic Heart, and what do you find interesting about this game? Do you think it'll succeed or do you think it'll fail? But that's all I've got for you guys today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.